Source code escrow provisions are pretty rare, but super critical contract provisions when they exist. So a source code escrow provision is a contractual clause where one party, typically a software vendor, says that they will put their source code in an escrow, like held by a trusted third party. And that trusted third party will be instructed to release the source code if one of a few release conditions happen. And so as someone who's been the CEO of a software vendor for more than a decade, source code escrow provisions are something that kind of horrify me. Like the idea that someone else could have your source code and could get a often free perpetual license to it is something that for me and my development colleagues, it would really stress us out. Nonetheless, there are times when the vendors do these provisions and they do them for good reason, right? Like big customers sometimes demand them, and there's good reasons why big customers sometimes demand them. Like if you're a big customer and you're heavily dependent on software from some other party, you would maybe feel like knowing that that other party, even if they go away, you still have protected access to the software. And so the real meat of source code escrow provisions tends to be in the language and tends to be around like what the release conditions are. So pretty typical that if the vendor goes out of business or maybe if they go bankrupt, that the source code is released. But there can be other situations like even on change of control where the source code gets released, and that can be quite problematic in a change of control transaction, because one of the most valuable things in a tech company can be their code. And if it gets released with a sort of royalty-free license, perpetual license, in case of a change of control, like that's going to really reduce the value of the company in a change of control situation. Anyways, if you're a tech company, it's really worth knowing whether your contracts have source code escrow provisions in them. And definitely if you're thinking about doing an acquisition or a disposition, like selling yourself, you should really know if your contracts have source code escrow clauses in them. Ways to do that are, number one, you can read the contracts. Number two, you can use artificial intelligence, contract analysis AI, to help find source code escrow provisions. And if you click this link right here, it'll take you to a widget that will automatically find source code escrow provisions in contracts for you. So you can just upload your contracts in there. It'll find source code escrow provisions if you have them. And ideally, that'll save you a bunch of time.